Does racism still exist?
Absolutely. I think exists everywhere, even if it's not obvious, but exists. And I think exists because of ignorance. Ignorance of both parts. I would say this. Because here, internationals, if you want to call it that way, or foreign students are the minority, right? And then exists for both parts. And exists every day. It's not like somebody's gonna spit at somebody that is from another race or it's another from another color, but comments, very small comments made every day by somebody that that it tells me that racism exists every day, exists. For example, comments like, what do you do? And you say, oh no, where do you work? And I said, at Mona Allison. And they wait a couple of seconds and said, what do you do there? And I say, for example, I'm a professor. And they say, oh, really? And I say, yes, I am. Professor of what? Spanish. And I say, oh yeah, sure, what else? What do you mean by what else? Because my first language is Spanish. And at first, when I had this type of comments, I was quiet. I just didn't answer it. But with time, I got a little bit more intolerant, if you want. I don't know if it's the right word. And I said, my answer to the next time that somebody made that comment to me, it was say, oh, do you teach English? Of course they don't, right? And that was my answer.